If you follow health and longevity science at all, the last few months have been, well, completely insane. We're talking about an age reversal study getting the green light from the FDA, cancer vaccines showing unbelievable results against brain tumors, and get this, scientists figuring out how to literally regrow human teeth. No, I'm not kidding. It's a question we've been asking ourselves forever, right? But for the very first time, the answers are starting to move out of the realm of science fiction and straight into the science lab. So let's dive into the breakthroughs that are making this happen right now. And look, these aren't some far-off predictions or someday maybe stories. These are real, tangible innovations happening as we speak, in labs, in clinical trials, and in some cases, they're already being used with patients. The future is definitely arriving a lot faster than we thought. So, in this explainer, we're going to cover 5 of the most mind-blowing stories that could totally reshape human health as we know it. First up on the list, rewinding the clock. Okay, let's start with the big one. On January 27th, the FDA gave the go-ahead to what might just be the most important longevity trial in history. A company called Life Biosciences, co-founded by Harvard's own David Sinclair, is about to test a gene therapy that could actually rewind the age of our cells. So how on earth does that even work? Well, it all comes down to a problem called epigenetic drift. You see, as you get older, your actual DNA, the core code, doesn't really change. The problem is that the instructions for how to read that DNA, they get messy. They get damaged over time. It's like your cells forget how to do their jobs, and they start acting old. Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine a mirror in an old gas station bathroom. Over the years, people have scratched things into it, there's gunk on it, the surface is a total mess. But the actual reflective mirror underneath, it's still perfectly fine. It just needs to be resurfaced. Your DNA is that mirror. The epigenetic drift is all the scratches and graffiti. And this is exactly what the solution looks like. The therapy from Life Biosciences uses these special proteins, they're called Yamanaka Factors, to basically resurface the mirror. They wipe all those epigenetic marks clean, restoring the patterns back to a younger state. You know, it's actually the same biological trick that makes sure a baby is born young, even if its parents are older. So where do you even begin with something this revolutionary? Well, the first human trial is going to target vision loss. The eyes are actually the perfect testing ground because you can deliver the therapy right where it's needed and then easily see if it's working. But let's be clear, if this is successful, they are not stopping at the eyes. This could be the very first step toward reversing aging in every single part of the human body. All right, from reversing age to fighting our oldest enemy, next up, let's talk about cancer, which has had a truly, truly terrible start to the year, all thanks to a whole series of incredible breakthroughs. The progress against cancer is just happening on so many different fronts right now, it's honestly hard to keep up. Scientists are attacking it from every possible angle. We're talking new vaccines, smarter therapies, and completely new ways to find the disease way, way earlier than ever before. It is a full-scale assault. Just look at this number, 48 hours. Scientists at the University of Florida developed an mRNA vaccine for glioblastoma, which is one of the deadliest brain cancers out there. In the very first human trials, it actually reprogrammed patients' own immune systems to go on the attack in just 2 days. No chemo, no radiation, and now it's moving into pediatric trials. It's just amazing. You see, cancer cells are masters of disguise. As you can see on the left, they often hide themselves behind this kind of sugar shield, which makes them totally invisible to our immune system. But researchers at MIT and Stanford have created a new treatment called Ablalex. And as you can see on the right, it basically just strips away that camouflage, allowing your body to finally see the threat and attack it. And then there's this, a potential game changer in early detection. I mean, imagine being able to screen for dozens of different cancers with a simple p-test you take at home. An AI system developed by a team from MIT and Microsoft is designing these tiny nanoparticle sensors that can hunt through your system looking for the specific proteins linked to cancer. This could completely change how we find and fight this disease. Okay, let's switch gears a little. What if, instead of just managing the damage to our bodies, we could just regrow the parts that wear out? I don't mean replace them, I mean actually regenerate them. Well, that future is getting very, very close. We're seeing huge breakthroughs across the board. Stanford is literally regrowing cartilage and joints, which could make knee replacements a thing of the past. A company called Nulame is developing a medicine to regenerate your liver, making it functionally younger. And yes, you heard that right, a drug to regrow human teeth is now in clinical trials. No, This is not a dream. As you can see on this timeline, Japanese scientists are already trialing a drug that works by blocking a single gene that normally stops us from growing new teeth as adults. If these trials go well, this treatment could be available to the public by 2030. Just think about it. Getting a cavity might mean you just pull the tooth and grow a brand new one. Wild. All right, now for a breakthrough that I think is going to get a lot of people very excited. You've heard all about the GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic, right? They're changing the game for weight loss. But they have one huge problem. You have to take them for the rest of your life. The second you stop the weekly shots, the weight comes right back. But what if you only needed one shot? The difference here is all in the approach. Instead of the constant weekly injections that we have now, a company called Fractal Health is developing a one-time gene therapy. The goal is a permanent solution that's way more precise and has far fewer of those nasty side effects. So here's how it works. It's actually pretty clever. Step 1, the therapy delivers new genes directly into your pancreas. Step 2, these genes tell your body to release that weight loss hormone, GLP-1, but, and this is key, only when you eat, not constantly. Step 3, this targeted approach means less of the hormone is just floating around your whole body, which should seriously cut down on side effects. And Step 4, the first human trials are kicking off this year. And finally, let's talk about solving a mystery, a medical whodunit that affects nearly 3 million people all over the world. For decades, we've had no idea what causes multiple sclerosis, this awful disease where the body just attacks its own nerves. Well, it looks like we might finally have the answer. Scientists just pinpointed 2 specific bacteria in our gut that seem to be the trigger for MS, and they proved it using this really elegant study design with identical twins. When they took gut microbes from a twin who had MS and put them into mice, those mice developed paralysis. But when they took microbes from the healthy twin, the mice were perfectly fine. It's the smoking gun. Same genes, different bacteria, completely different outcomes. I mean, this is a massive discovery. If MS is really triggered by a couple of specific bacteria, it blows the doors wide open for entirely new kinds of treatments that we never thought possible before. Things like super-targeted antibiotics, specialized probiotics, or even microbiome transplants. We could honestly be looking at a future where MS is a preventable condition. So let's just recap the sheer insanity of all this. The FDA has approved a human trial to reverse cellular aging. Cancer's getting hammered from all sides with brand new therapies. We're on the verge of actually regenerating our own body parts. A one-shot cure for obesity is about to start human trials, and we have very likely found the trigger for MS. It is just an absolutely incredible time to be watching science. The pace of innovation right now is just staggering, and it's happening across every single area of human health. You know, the question is no longer if we can solve these massive problems, but really just how quickly. So I have to ask, which of these do you think is the biggest game changer?